Dilly Hussain and some other people with religious right in the UK have been trying to talk about hegemonic ideas. They are seeking, in a way, according to their critics, global domination of a particular religion. Dilly Hussain invited Sahil Adeem almost a year ago, and Sahil Adeem's discussion with Hussain has also been uploaded on YouTube. It has been there for some time or quite a few months. And before I say anything about Sahil Adeem's discussion, let me say something about his hegemonic ideas and about the blatant lies that he resorts to. Because he has been trying to emotionalize Muslim youth, not only in Pakistan but other parts of the world. He heaps scorn on secularism and liberalism, although he himself is a liberal in a sense that he believes in free market economy. He believes in political liberalism because, like Hans Marganthaw and many people from realist school of thoughts in international relation, he also seems to be believing in hegemonic theory. So, in a way, he's a political liberal and economic liberal. But he uh, heaps scorn on secularism and does not want secularism, although he himself has taken the nationality of a secular country. So let me tell you some of the inaccuracies that are there, because he loves to brag about his achievement, and he resorts to blatant lies as well. For instance, he says that God, in a way, made Ashraf Ali Thanvi write or helped him write 1400 books, with each carrying 3 to 4 volumes consisting of 300 to 500 pages. If you calculate that, it's more than half a billion or maybe close to a million. Bertrand Russell, who used to be a prolific writer, he did not write that much. Noam Chomsky, who has authored more than 74 books, he has not written that much. Maulana Maududi, who used to be a prolific writer as well. And there are many writers who have not hit maybe that number. But he never bothered to check, he never bothers to check facts, and he just said that. In another video, he said that Mayan civilization uh, destroyed within 24 hours. Again, that flies in the face of reality. You can simply Google, or you can read any book on South Central and North American history, and you would find that that is absolutely incorrect. In reality, they took a long time, prolonged drought, famines, depopulation, or overpopulation factors, were some of the contributing factors that led to their demise. And even then, they were not destroyed completely. There are still Mayans peoples in that region. So that again flies in the face of the truth. In the same way, he said that during the Doha Agreement, the Afghan Taliban twice demanded the Americans to hand over Afia Siddiqui. You can Google and check Doha Agreement, and again, you would not find even a single mention of this. There are four sections of Doha Agreement or parts. You can go through all those parts. But he knows that in Pakistan, nobody can say anything against him, and he can say whatever he wants. He has also talked about nonsense regarding pyramids, that there are pyramids in Quetta. So Dilly Hussain might want to go to Quetta and find out those pyramids there. And anyway, the pyramids or the so-called pyramids that exist in different parts of world, including Americas, they have nothing to do with the pyramids or pyramids of Egypt, which are completely different in shape and foundation. But this guy just picks some conspiracy theories, and then he tries to project them. And he has been also misguiding Pakistani youth and Muslim youth all over the world, turning them against, in a way, secularism. Of course, every system has a lot of merits and demerits. There are so many things from the Western world. that cannot be praiseworthy. For instance, nuclear weapons and weapons of mass destruction. But Islamists like Sahil, they would like to have these nuclear weapons, these technology of the West, which are harmful. But innocuous inventions or innocuous celebrations like birthday, like Valentine, like music, he's strongly opposed to these all things. Now, when Dilly Hussain asked about Bangladesh, he said that it was the ego of one person. And this again flies in the face of reality. In reality, uh, the problem started in 1948 with the language riots in Bangladesh when Qaeda Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah declared Urdu to be national language. The Bengalis rejected it and they protested it, and then it was the attitude of the ruling elite of West Pakistan, of then West Pakistan, that was very contemptuous towards Bengali people. The Bengali people had this sense that they were producing jute and other natural resources, and their material wealth was being used on West Pakistan. And during the 1965 war, the Eastern Front was left, uh, you know, abandoned. And if India wanted at that time, there are some historians who believe it could have captured it because there were no troops on the Western Front. And then the brutalities and atrocities that were committed during the liberation war of Bangladesh were not mentioned by Sahil. It was Islamist like Sahil who, in reality, spied on Bengali people and Bengali nationalists, and they were the reasons for, or some critics might argue that people like him uh, were one of the factors that led to the massacre of the people and violation of human rights on a massive scale. So it's very ironic that Dilly Hussain himself has very conservative ideas as far as religion is concerned, and he also invites people who will end up creating more problems for Western people. Now, Sahil Adeem talks about he wants perhaps 6% Muslim living in Europe to dominate and impose political Islam in European continent, or Muslims living in Canada, Australia, maybe New Zealand, and the United States to impose their political philosophy on those societies. He's the one who lived for a considerable time of his life in secular countries, and he heaps scorn on secularism. While it's very clear if we look at the history of mankind, there has never been any religious state. In reality, what emerges in the name of religion has always been a sectarian state. This is what Muslims need to understand. Western system may have a lot of faults, but they concluded after prolonged battles in the name of religion, with the 30 years war taking place in 17th century, claiming more than 3 million lives. Some estimates suggest that around 8 million people decimated during that war. There have been wars between Protestant and Roman Catholic. There have been instances where in France 10,000 or 5,000 Protestant were burned alive or killed within no time. In the same way, wherever Protestant constituted majority, they also persecuted Roman Catholic. So finally, they decided that religion has to be a private matter. But people like Dilly Hussain and Sahil Adim want a religious government. Now the question is that if they want Islamic government in Islamic countries, reducing minorities to the status of second class citizen, as Maulana Maududi said that he's least bothered about Indian Muslim. If Hindutva or Hindu want a religious government there, relegating Muslim to a status of second class citizen, he's not concerned about it. So it means that more than 200 million Muslims in India should be relegated to the status of a second class citizen. They should be converted in Malich or Shudar, and they should be treated like outcasts. And Sahil, people like Sahil and Dilly Hussain would be happy. In the same way, when they heap scorn on secularism, they do not talk about How did religious government look like when they were there? For instance, the religious Roman Catholic government established by Isabella and Ferdinand, what did it actually do? It kicked out Muslims from Al Andalusia. It kicked out Jews from Al Andalusia, beside persecuting Protestant of Netherlands and other parts of Europe. So whenever you have a government in the name of religion, it turns out to be a sectarian government. For instance, in Saudi Arabia, you had a religious government, but in reality, it was confined to Wahhabis only, and you could not find, any Shiite, any Barelvi, any Deobandi in the Shura or the top Shura of that country. In the same way, Iran is an Islamic country, but in Shura, Negeban, and Guardian Council, which is considered the highest decision making bodies, highest decision making body, it doesn't have any non-Shiite in it. In the same way, during the time of Afghan Taliban in 1990s, the government that emerged there in the name of religion was essentially a Deobandi government. And most of the Shura members were the graduate of Pakistani religious seminaries. You could not find any Shiite, any Deobandi, any Barelvi, or a member of any other sect in that Shura. Vatican City is a religious state, but in reality, all powers lie in the hand of Roman Catholics. So, what emerges in the name of religion will be a sectarian government. This is what Muslim need to understand. Religion is your private matter. Relationship between heart and God is religion. So, what is in your heart, the other person would not know, and what is in the other person's heart, you do not know. So, it has to be a private matter. You cannot impose religion, because in order to impose something you need at least two factors. Number one, you need to have consensus. Number two, you need to have force. People can have consensus on worldly affairs, like they might evolve consensus on the issue of water, that water, pure drinking water, should be accessible to all citizens, education should be free, decent housing should be a right of every person, medical treatment should be free, so on and so forth. But when it comes to sectarian matter, right, you have in the UK Adnan Rashid heaping his scorn on the Shiite all the time, declaring in a way infidels. So now the Deobandi and Ahle Hadith or Wahhabi believe that anyone saying Ya Rasulallah or Ya Khwaja Gharib Nawaz or Ya Ghaus al Madad or Ya Ali al Madad is an infidel. It means millions of Barelvis who are living in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Turkey, and many other countries, they are out of Islam. In the same way, Deobandi believes that anybody who speaks against companions or companions of Prophet Muhammad is not Muslim. So it means Shiite, more than millions of Shiite, they are also again out of Islam. And then the Wahhabis, they think that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was simply a man. He was not a deviant light. He was not a divine light, or he was not a radiant light. Some Barelvi do believe it. They believe that Muhammad, peace be upon him, knew ilmul ghaib. So according to Barelvi, Ahle Hadith or Wahhabi and Deobandi, they are not Muslims. So if you start establishing a government on the basis of religion, there would be a sectarian war. That's what happened in Western world. That's why after prolonged battles, skirmishes, and wars, they finally decided that religion should be your private matter. It should have nothing to do with the affairs of a state. But people like Sahil, Adeem, Dilly, Hussain, they want a sort of global caliphate. They want political Islam. And in the past, we did see the result of political Islam. Afghanistan stands in ruin. The same thing could be seen in Syria, in Libya, in Somalia, and so many other countries. Abu Musab Zarqawi ended up killing Muslims. Daesh ended up killing a fellow Muslim. The same thing happened between Afghan Taliban and Daesh. So that's why Muslim living in Western world should be aware of these champions of political Islam. They will not only create, they will not only sharpen sectarian differences between Muslim, they will also put them in a precarious position vis-a-vis indigenous people or local people of Western country. There is already a lot of anger against Muslim. There is already a lot of hatred against Muslim. The far right all over European, continent and in other parts of the world or other parts of the Western world, they have already been exploiting statements of mullah and clerics that are meant to denigrate Western democracy and secularism. And if people like Sahil, Adeem are encouraged to propagate their divisive ideas, it's going to be very catastrophic for Muslim living in the UK, in Europe, and other parts of the Western world.